I'm sitting here with Ryszard Dalkwoski, who is freelancer working with cloud technologies from Microsoft. Can you tell us something about you?
Sure. I am a former Microsoft employee for more than 18 years. I left company 2 years ago and started my own business. Still cooperating with Microsoft in terms of connecting open source technology and Microsoft Azure. And in my private life, I'm cloud fan and I'm vice president of Open Source Business Foundation in Poland.
Okay. Can you tell us some basics about Microsoft Azure technology?
It's not easy to cover some basics, but okay, it is kind of public cloud available for anyone, and it is open for different technology. Even it is from Microsoft, it is not closed to just to Microsoft technologies. It is open for anyhow of technology, any set of technologies. And what is more important, it is not infrastructure-based cloud. It is something which can deliver for you services ready to use. So if you are, for example, Android developer, you are mobile app developer.
Yes.
So you can, with Azure, you can start the backend for your application for whatever platform you use in the standard way. And it is the backend for the application. It will be delivered as a service ready to use. So you don't care to build all infrastructure for the backend. It is just a service you will start. And you will just tell to the service that you want to develop for iOS, Android, or Windows Phone.
What do you think about the speed of innovations in this cloud area?
The cloud is perfect platform if you want to fast deliver your own solution, because you don't have to bother with buying devices, build the infrastructure, and build the environment to develop solution, and then set it up. You can start it from scratch in a few minutes and to develop solution. So it gives the speed. And for even small companies to deliver the solution. So this is the most important part, I think. The other way is the economy, because if you are a very small company, you don't have too much money to put it in front before you get money back from the customers. You can use cloud because you pay after usage. With regular way of developing, I mean, on your own data center or even in hosting, you have to pay before. So that's the biggest difference. So and this gives speed, because you don't have to care about money to find this money, for example, to rent it from someone alone. You can just start your job, deliver a solution, get money back, and pay after.
Yeah.
So this is good way of thinking, I think.
What about tools for developers? Are they improving fast enough? I mean like new versions of tools and stuff like that.
If we talk about Microsoft, you have Visual Studio, which is the most known, one of the best, I think. And I'm not a developer, but my open source colleagues, they tell me sometimes that, oh, you guys, when I was a Microsoft employee, oh, you guys, you should develop Visual Studio for Linux, because it is very good solution. Right now, it is possible to use it because Microsoft has Visual Studio Online, so it is possible to use it not only on Windows platform. You can use it if you are a Linux user. So this is good. And the speed of development of the tools are pretty good with SDKs, with all additional plugins which can improve your normal, let's say, regular environment, developing environment, to better tailor to your needs. So this is the way of speed of development, of changing the environment.
Can you tell us something about Red Hat and Microsoft and current agreement?
Yeah, the biggest news from the October. This is a funny story because Microsoft started to negotiate with Red Hat more than 2 years ago. Red Hat, the biggest open source company, noted on the stock exchange. So they were a very, very strong enemy. I mean, during the negotiations. So that's why it took so long, I think. Right now, this is very good news, especially for the customers' enterprise size. I mean, for the biggest customers, because they use Red Hat probably. They use workloads based on Red Hat Linux or on Red Hat technologies, not only the operating system but other technologies. So right now, they are able to get rid of old data center and move the workloads based on Red Hat technologies to Azure without losing the support from Red Hat, which is the money generator for Red Hat and which is very important for customers, of course. So this is pretty good announcement and a good step. Connecting this with Oracle agreement done before that, you can see that Microsoft Azure is one of the best choice, I think, for enterprise customers because it is supported with Oracle solutions, which are enterprise solutions, and the same with Red Hat, which is the most known enterprise solution from open source stuff.
Why open source developers should use Microsoft Azure?
This is platform ready to develop software. You don't have to build the infrastructure to build your own development environment, but you can just start something called a web app, which is complete development environment. So you don't have to spend some hours setting up servers, installing operating systems, installing your tools. You can speed it up, start the web app, so it's complete environment to develop your solution, and you're all set. You can deliver your solution, build and sell it after that. The other thing is that Azure is ready to use continuous deployment. For example, it is ready to use and to connect to external repositories like GitHub, for example, which is very popular. And you have tools to build whole environment to deliver staging deployment, which is very, very important if you, for example, have to do tests, A/B tests. If you choose, for example, if you choose a different user interface, you can set up 2 or 3 deployment slots with different interface, and just swap it very, very fast way without interrupting the working of the solution, and you can test which interface is best for customers. So it is really convenient, full solution for the developers.
Microsoft Azure is a platform which can be used from in smallest companies starting to develop something new, like startups, but also in biggest companies who already have their solutions working and want to improve it.
Yes, even if it is a huge cloud, public cloud, covering globally all over the world, you can use it if you are a small startup company. You can use it with a special offer called Bespark. If you ask Microsoft employees, they will tell you more about it. It is special offer tailored to small companies, for startup companies, which I mentioned before that it's not going to be paid before, and it's completely free for the small companies. With all the, and even if, of course, even if you are not a Microsoft developer, if you use alternative technologies, you can use this and this offer too, and you can scale up. You can build the bigger and bigger solutions based on this cloud, up to enterprises where you can use Oracle on Linux based on with full support based on Azure platform. So this is pretty good solution if you want to grow, if you want to scale up as your company.
Can you tell us something about the new special data centers in Europe?
There is still no official interpretation of the law. So can it be touched or cannot be touched? Because Microsoft is a US-based company, and in theory, it is in US-based company. So in theory, it must be reported to US governance.
Yes.
But data and data centers are here in Europe, so shouldn't be touched by US governance. So Microsoft decided to avoid this problem and build data center with partners and deliver the services are delivered and hosted by partners, which are 100% European companies. But of course, it is still Azure. It is still the same functionality, but with no privacy problem because it's based in Europe and delivered by European companies. So this is, I think, perfect move without waiting for the official interpretation of the law. Even without these data centers, it is Azure is regionalized. So if you use a European region, your data stays in European data centers to main two. Right now, if you choose the special data center, it is completely secured from the other touching the data. So it is completely secure, completely separated by law, because it's European data center by European company. So it's completely safe.